Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. This is a rebuild update. Venomon 5. Yes, I managed to kill Venomon 4, which is the one you saw in the previous rebuild. Luckily for you, I'm actually further than where I was with that character. So I'm currently in Merciless Act 2. Fast on my way to reaching Merciless Act 3. Also, you die. Yes, thank you. So, I managed to lose my life against Triskeriaki in Act 4 Cruel. Triskeriaki being our favorite Rakango underground dragon type thingamajig. And yeah, I charged in and I died rather quickly. So, go a bit into the details of that. Why did I charge in? Well, the thing is, the build I was playing is actually, in hindsight, a rather aggressive version of the build I was playing. Currently, I've got Contagion Essence Drain as my primary skills. The other one had that as well. Those are basically ranged skills. I mean, you can Contagion, you cast it at the edge of your screen. Essence Drain is a projectile, so it goes very far as well. So, those, if you're playing safely, if you're playing basically the hardcore way, you want to keep things that try to kill you at a distance, and you shoot at them. Well, that works reasonably well with Contagion Essence Rain. The thing is, if you're using Abyssal Cry has the complete opposite playstyle. Abyssal Cry really wants you to get in close, it wants you to get into melee range, get surrounded by as many enemies as possible. And then you just, you know, say this Contagion is like an Abyssal Cry, you cast Abyssal Cry around you, then you follow up with an actual Contagion, and then you cast an Essence Drain, and if you kill this one of them, the entire screen explodes with purple gore. Just all the monsters, all the bits explode all over the screen. Well, the thing is, you need to get into melee range, which is not what you want to do. And the fact that I was using Ethereal knives as a support skill to basically cast stuff when I wasn't casting other things didn't really help because it had a similar problem. Let's see, this Undying Fractured. Let's see. So basically the combination of those two support skills on top of the regular builds really they boosted a aggressive playstyle. In hindsight, I probably could have realized it, didn't really do it at the time. At the time I was like, yeah, awesome, let's kill some more. I want to see more explosions, want to see everything explode. And then Triskeriaki exploded me. Yeah, let's see, I've been trying to just do some more interesting things with strong boxes. Let's see, do that. So, Abyssal Cry is out. And it's gonna stay out for now, because I don't think it supports a playstyle that I want to play with my character right now. So I actually want to get this character to level 90, get my achievement, eventually kill Malachi, and do all the things in less than 2 weeks, because that's when the league ends. So yeah, there's no pressure at all. So what did I do with the build? Well, I have Bladefall now, which replaces Ethereal Knives because it's a ranged skill. It's a physical projectile skill, but it works at range, which is awesome. So yeah, I was gonna assign skill points, and yeah, I didn't forget anything. Just next, go. So just now that I have it open, let's show the skill build. So I took the path, just the usual, went up here, get some life, get some damage, growth and decay, written blood, atrophy, alacrity, just for some extra dex, because I really need my dex on this build. Hardened soul, extra life, extra mana. I mean, having a decent mana pool is very useful. Arcane focus and just the entire wheel, more energy shield, blast radius, bigger contagion. Then I went for mind barrier, so I actually picked up spell block and some extra energy shield from your equipped shield. And I went past here, crew preparations and life, just to boost my life pool a bit more out of the get-go. Eventually I'm gonna get Alchemist, but for now I figured Alchemist, it just boosts your potions by 30%, which is ridiculously good. But it's more important to get down to the Scion, life wheel, and grab that in its entirety. I'm gonna prioritize this over a lot of other things. So basically from here it's just gonna be a beeline down here. I'm gonna stop of course for potency of will to make all skills last longer. When I got that, I'm gonna grab Alchemist. And after that I'm gonna look at the skills below here. So that's gonna be Method to the Madness, just more damage. And then just have a look at the defensive options or what not. But that's just for the future. So let's see. Contagion, Essence Drain, Bladefall, Whirling Blades for movement. I've got the Lightning Warp for a secondary teleportation style of movement. Because you know you can't Whirling Blades over broken bridges, but you can teleport. Chaos Golem still there, and a Decoy Totem. It's not very strong, but it does do its job of pulling in enemies and keeping them occupied for a little bit to clump them up, and so I can Contagion, Essence Drain, and if need be, follow up with Bladefall. Also got a Vile Discipline just to act as basically an energy shield heal when I need it. It's a Vile skill, so it needs 24 souls to actually work. So that means I can't always use it. But in boss fights I have one shot at recharging my energy shield, which is not a bad idea. And every once in a while you see some explosions. That's because I now have a cast when damage taken setup. It casts this very fine Tempest shield over here that increases my block chance and makes enemies take lightning damage when they attack me. And I've got Immortal Call on it. And I'm not using it to its fullest potential. I realize that, because I'm not generating endurance charges. Immortal Call makes you immune to physical damage for 0.4 seconds. That duration is increased by 100% for every endurance charge it consumes when you cast it. If you have charges, it's gonna consume them. If you don't, it won't. But it kicks in thanks to the cast my damage taken setup. Basically every time I take just under 600 points of damage. So that's roughly between 5 and 6 times before you die, if you're lucky. I mean, there's a bit of an internal cooldown, so the faster it bursts, the less you're gonna get from it. But for most of the situations, if you're taking just damage over time, it's gonna kick in and it's gonna protect you from spiky damage. So in the Dresso situation, the fight where I lost Venomon 3, I was standing in the middle of a cloud of swords and it was just like tick 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 tick, boom, dead. So in here the Immortal Call is gonna kick in on the very first one or after the second one. And then for 0.4 seconds, soon to be 0.6 seconds, I'll be immortal as far as that physical damage is concerned. So that gives me a little bit of time to realize, like, oh wait, something bad happened. I need to get out of here. And that fraction of a second that you gain from it might be enough to save your life. So it's not supposed to make you immortal. It basically helps you with your reflexes. You can get away with slower reflexes in very high tension situations. So that's basically what I was going to go for. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of skills to level up now that I've actually gained a level. And I think that's kind of wraps it up. I mean, I actually have some instant life gain flasks. So bleeding, just a regular flask. This one recovers 50% of the damage instantly. This is very useful in panic situations because it's just boom, I gain 600 life. Curse removal, speed, that also removes freeze and chill, and a granite flask that also has iron skin on it, so instead of 3000 armor it gains close to 6000 armor, which is very very nice to boost your defenses. In terms of setup, I've got a unique belt that just adds some strength into cold resistance. It's not very fancy, but it gets the job done. Using a dagger that boosts my spell damage a bit. It adds some fire damage to spells, which actually makes Bladefall benefit from it, because No, it does a lot of projectiles, so it hits quite often. And also importantly, it boosts my mana regen, which is really, really nice. I've got enough mana regen now, 29.4, basically to just keep chain casting Whirling Blades and just move for free, as if I have infinite mana, which is very, very nice. Resistances, I just entered Merciless difficulty, had to fiddle a bit with my gear, actually crafted this rare just to have something, and I picked this one. It's a Templar shield, and I picked it because it has built-in resistances, which help me deal with my resistance hole here. So out of the box, I'm actually have a little bit of armor now thanks to this. No, it's not what the build is focused on, but all the little bits of defenses help, and I am deprioritizing evasion once again, same as with Venom 4. So chaos is negative this time, just because I don't really have a lot of sources of chaos resistance on this build. For a while I was actually sporting a really, really nice unique. I want to show you that. I think I looted it on a previous character. Zo'n Detus Cassocks. You gain almost 50% chaos resistance, and whenever you block, you create consecrated ground on the floor where you stand. Consecrated ground is awesome. It grants you a life regeneration for as long as it's there. And I was in my low 50s life level wise, and I gained almost 100 life per second on top, which I think is pretty cool. It really does help with survivability. If you get stunned or anything and you manage to block in a nasty situation, that extra bit of life regen might just help you survive. But eventually I wanted to switch out and get this crypt armor on, which has 6 sockets. I didn't even bother with trying to 6-link it, because I don't think I'm that lucky to actually do that. You need a lot more currency for that. So 4-link with 2 spares is pretty good as well. Nice slot for the Vile Discipline, and there's a Vengeance in the build, just because I had an empty socket. So rings with some resistances and some life. Basically that's the theme for most of the gear. Resistances, life, and some energy shield where possible. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good overview of the build as it stands right now. So, plans. There's just over 2 weeks remaining in this league. So that means I'm on a pretty tight deadline if I want to make it to level 90 still. I mean, I only hit 62, so that's 28 more levels to go. I think my plate is now 20 hours. But I've actually been fiddling with my recording setup and things for the past couple of hours. So in actual playtime, probably closer to 15 or 16 hours, because I just tend to multitask quite a bit and just have my character idle in town while I do that. So I have 20 more levels to go. Once I make it to the end of Act 3, I'm gonna record Piety, I'm gonna record Dominus, and then in Act 4, I'm just gonna start playing regularly again. There's the regular content, so that's gonna be the Vol, that's gonna be the Mines. Then you got Calm, the Resso, and then Piety Malachi. Until the Mines, basically up until I get to Lady Yala inside of the Mines. I'm just gonna play and just level appropriate, probably just do that for myself. And then I'm gonna stop for a while. Then I'm gonna focus on leveling up, gearing up, before I'm gonna tackle the boss fights. So Calm, the Resso, and everything afterwards, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna gear up until the mid-80s probably, before I'm gonna tackle that content. Because I now know that's very tough. It's definitely a bit of a gear check. People in the comments let me know that you shouldn't really do the Resso until you have at least 4,000 life on you. And some better gear for dealing with panicky situations, like instant heal flasks and things like that. So I've got that sorted out now. But I just need more life, need better gear, need more damage, things like that. So I'm gonna gear up till the mid-80s, I think. And I'm gonna do that at first just by some Dried Lake runs. Once I am high enough level to start doing maps, I'm gonna switch to maps. I think I've covered all the basic tier 1 maps. So I'm gonna shift into tier 2 maps for recording. So I want to cover all the tier 2 maps, all the tier 3 maps. I actually have most of those maps So I got a bunch of spare tier 1 maps, tier 2 maps I found, quite a lot of them already. So by the time I'm through all 6 different maps here, I will have found the remaining ones if there's even more. Tier 3 I've also got 7 different maps, so we can run those as well. And tier 4 I've already got 2 maps, but by the time I'm done with running all of these other maps, I will have enough tier 4 maps to burst into that as well. So that's the plan. Get to Act 4, do the basic content, get up to level and then start running maps. And I'm gonna record all the different maps and put out episodes for that, just to showcase all the maps as they are with the boss fights and things like that and how this build deals with them. There's unique maps. They are harder to come by, so if I come by one, I'll record it and add it to the collection, but those are going to be out of order. It might be that I'm going to do like the tier 5 unique map before the tier 1 unique map, just because I happen to find it earlier. And if I'm on the appropriate level, I'll just do the content. It's easy as that. I might mix things up a little bit. Just rolling blue maps. They're kind of basic. I've definitely got very interesting modifiers on yellow maps. Something as interesting as like, hey, totems on the map. Totems everywhere. Basically like the pyramids. I was underestimating how interesting that gets. Totems really spice things up, and they make just opening up a strong box just a roll of the dice. It's spiky in terms of damage. So yeah, probably gonna do a bit more rare maps, just depending a bit on how tough maps look, but we'll see. Take things one thing at a time. For now, goals to get to Act 4, then the goals to get to level 68. Then I'm gonna start running maps, and then we will see. So you'll see me again soon. Hopefully, still on Venom 1.5. If I don't make it on Venom 1.5, I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna make another Venom 1.6. I mean, there's a lot of busy weekends coming up. Division beta weekend is gonna be next week. I think the weekend afterwards is another new game with a beta or something. So I'm just gonna have to see how things go. So yeah, let's just hope I don't die. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching, for your patience with me rebuilding and killing my characters and rebuilding. Again, I hope it's been entertaining or helpful, or that you learned something from this. I mean, I die, so you don't have to. That might actually be a nice channel for the nice tagline for the channel. So I try to draw lessons from everything. So losing a character is a learning opportunity. You don't lose characters without reason, unless it's lag or server side disconnects or something weird like that. But even then, lag build should probably have some method of coping with it to a certain degree, especially with Path of Exile, because you more or less got lockstep mode now. So yeah, I've tried different versions of this build. I've explained my choices, why I picked certain skills, and when they didn't work. I've explained my choices, why they didn't work, and why I picked other things and what I hope to achieve with them. So I hope that's yeah, it teaches you something, entertains you, whatnot. And with that, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. At the end of Act 3 or Act 4 or something in that area. Anyway, that's it for now. Bye bye.